Well, that's how things kind of shaping up. We just saw that. Well, that was a tough race right now, but now it is the third race here, the third round right here, and our final race here, the third round for the all-wheel drive category. What are we going to see right now?
Now we're going to see the car that won both times at Irwindale. It won yesterday. It's got a different driver in it this weekend, Andreas Eriksson, fastest in the first heats. He wants to beat Stefan Verdier and Tanner Faust and bring this one home. So Andreas Eriksson in the Ford Fiesta sits in the prime position. Stefan Verdier in the Crawford STI, who has done tremendous this weekend and takes no prisoners, lines up alongside. And then Tanner Faust. Tanner may be dealing with a problem in his shoulders. If you don't know, his shoulder popped out when he hit a 700-pound tyre yesterday. In true X Games style, popped it back in.
5 seconds, and here we go. Back to racing action right here from Snoquamie, Washington.
As they accelerate down into the first corner, you can see it's the two Ford Fiestas that go in there first. It's Andreas Eriksson from Tanner Faust, from Stefan Verdier. Now Eriksson gives the car its head as it goes through the boneyard for the first time. They slide around Folsoms, they come across the finish line. Verdier comes through. Remember, Verdier is a privateer up against the might of the factory Ford team. Into the warehouse for the first time. Andreas Eriksson, followed by Tanner Faust. This is the better run, and Andreas drifts wide as he comes out of the warehouse. Not as bad as Dave, but accelerates down through the short chute. Now Andreas likes to take the jump first. Here he goes. So Andreas coming up to the jump. He takes it longer than most people. Oh, he took it longer than most people there. He carried a lot of speed into that jump there. But Andreas Eriksson's on the boneyard now, coming through Folsoms to complete the lap. So it's Andreas Eriksson in the lead. He won everything yesterday. The car has not been beaten in Global Rallycross yet as Tanner Faust enters the boneyard. There's 3 laps to go for Andreas Eriksson. He's the only one that's taken the Joker lap so far. Around Folsoms comes Tanner Faust in a very, very similar Ford Fiesta. Tanner's coming through the S's, while already Andreas has gone through the short chute. He's coming down into the chicane section and the hairpin as Tanner goes through the warehouse. Tanner has just got to fight now against the clock. Out of the warehouse, slides it round, through the kink, through the short chute. Will Tanner take the jump this time? Yes, he will. So Andreas Eriksson's in the lead. Tanner Faust is coming to take the jump. Will he do enough to catch him up? A lot shorter jump from Tanner Faust, probably about 5 miles an hour difference as they come through.
We just saw number 12, Stefan Verdier, car problems. He just pulled off. So it's a 2-car race right now in the all-wheel drive category.
So now it's a fight to the flag. They've got 2 laps to go. You've got Andreas Eriksson out of the S's. You've got Tanner Faust out of the S's. Tanner Faust has to hunt down the car that beat him last time out at Irwindale and his team boss from Olsberg's MSE. He does not want the boss man to be beating him. So this is it now. Tanner Faust has to find the ground on the Swede. The stand-in for Marcus Gronholm is Andreas Eriksson, and he is doing a grand job in that car so far.
Not a bad stand-in.
Pretty good stand-in. When you have Marcus Gronholm texting you abuse, I think you find a way to beat someone. So, through the gap they come. Andreas Eriksson turns the corner, keeps it nice and clean. Tanner Faust giving it everything. The gap's a little bit smaller than it was last time, but Tanner's got to find something or hope Andreas makes a mistake. Andreas in the boneyard, through Folsoms, across the line to see the 1 lap to go board. He had the fastest time in the first heats. He's going to want the fastest times in the second. Into the warehouse he goes. Absolutely flat out down here. These cars are getting to around 125 miles an hour by the time they reach the braking zone in the warehouse. In 5th gear, throwing it right as they come out. Through the short chute, through the kink, down into the very, very slippy section. Heading down to the hairpin. You can see Andreas gets the car a little bit sideways. He's sometimes a little bit flamboyant on the hairpins, but not so much that time. Tanner keeps it nice and tight. So Faust comes through. He's going to come through the gap. Doesn't look like he's got anything for Eriksson right now, but he could be on his way to a very, very fast time. He has closed that gap down, but only by 2 or 3 lengths, not what he needs. So Eriksson around Folsoms, comes across the line, but takes the win. In the second heat of all-wheel drive 2C, the winner, Andreas Eriksson from Sweden, followed by Tanner Faust.
And not exactly sure what happened to Stefan Verdier, but he had some car problems and had to pull off about right after I think the 2nd lap. So Stefan Verdier back to the paddocks. A great race for Erickson. That's what he's been doing all weekend long, running great races. And you got to wonder, Tanner Faust, he popped his shoulder out yesterday, had to pop that shoulder back in today. Wonder if that plays an effect as we check the replays.
So you can see there that just the flying of these Fiestas is really, really different. If you look at Tanner taking a jump, unlike Andy Mansing where he went nose into the jump, Tanner gets a really great landing there. But it's interesting that Tanner jumps an awful lot shorter than what Andreas does. You look at Andreas's jump here. Oh, this is still Tanner. Tanner jumps, hits down fine, no issue with that, but he's probably a good 10, 15 feet further back than what Andreas is managing to do.
And you can think that Erickson's probably going to let him know that too as well.